Hello, hello, and welcome. I'm not exactly sure if there's people here in the chat. I apologize for being late. We've had technical difficulties. And so, yeah, so Sunny will be joining us very shortly. I'm going to take a moment to clear the space. Hello, DNA. Hello, Editha. Hi, honey. Hi, how are you? So, first of all, I would like to apologize for running late for today. Mercury retrograde, right? Sunny is actually, she'll be coming back shortly. And so, I guess now it's time for a little chit chat, right? How are you guys are doing? I actually wasn't feeling very well earlier this morning. I think I had food poisoning, guys. I think my son did some research on the symptoms that I had, but I was feeling nauseous, like sweaty. I had to go use a bathroom. Uh, and my heart was like pounding and stuff, and I wasn't feeling very good, to be honest. But I plowed through those readings today, right, for the um, air signs, and so I thank you for your patience. You've been struggling, DNA. I think we all have been struggling. Yeah. Like even like I don't know, it's just so weird. Time seems to be going really fast. So how is everyone else doing? So we're gonna have a little chit chat session before Sunny comes back online. She is rearranging her equipment. Good evening, Vietnam. Me love you long time. $5. Me love you long time. $10. You get anything. Sorry. Sweating and sick both ends at the same time. Usually food. Yeah, I think I had food poisoning. I woke up out of nowhere and I was sweating and I was thirsty and I was downing the water. Then I had to use a bathroom. And then I went back to bed and I was shivering. I was like, oh my God. Yeah. But I've been trying to do mind training and not like think that that's actually going to recur. Like when you have like something happen, you're like, oh my God, I hope I don't have it like again. Yeah. Me love you long time. Yeah, I know, honey. Gigi, me love you long time. Um, Anybody watching movies this weekend? I don't watch movies, guys. I don't watch movies. I watch drama. I think there's a drama that I'm watching right now on Vicky. It's called Shooting Stars, but it looks like shitting stars. But yeah, if I have time, I'll watch drama. But I don't watch TV, like movies and stuff. If I had my twin or a boyfriend, I'd be watching some of that. But yeah, I keep myself busy. Oh, here we go. Let's see here. I'm going to let her get adjusted before I pop her back in. Yeah, guys, I got like so like freaked out. I got like some Zen water. Do you want to see that Zen water I got? Hold on. Yeah, I got some of this. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen this before, but yeah. I also have my smart water, but I feel like it's not enough. I don't know, guys. I get weird. Sunny, are you good? Okay, so everybody, please welcome Sunny to the channel.
Thank you. Sorry for the delay.
You're fine.
Get over here to
We
where
were
I
just
can be.
chit-chatting about movies and such.
Oh, well, I'm doing movie stars tonight, so
Oh,
that's
yeah, you are. So do you like this view, or do you want me to scrunch it up and
I'm good if you're good. I'm have we done the hi DNA? Hi everybody. Sorry. I was downstairs set up working in a different room, and when Scorpio Moon and I started talking before going on, my dogs went
they
batshit
were going yeah, they were going "Wah, wah, 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 wah." Like,
so when no one's talking, they're quiet. And then when they think they're missing out on something, they want to be in the middle of it. So I had to relocate back to
aw.
my office. So
So
I'm
they're like kids, like
they
little
are
children.
just like little children. They want to be in the middle of everything. And that could be another show. But
Yeah.
have you cleared the energy?
Yeah, I cleared the space, so, I mean, if you're ready, or if
Yes.
we
Yes,
can get
I am.
on. Okay.
I hate being late. So let's just jump right into it. I'll give
Okay.
some preliminary notes about the Gemini new moon occurring on May the 30th. And then I've prepared some Gemini celebrity twin charts, some with how the new moon is affecting them. And then some of these people are deceased. So it doesn't do any good to do anything about the new moon coming up. So it's May 30th. And I don't know why I always misspeak and always say it's always on the West Coast, but so on Monday on the West Coast, it's at 4:30 a.m. and here on the East Coast, it's at 7:30 a.m. And also occurring at the same time, we have a Mars-Jupiter conjunction. That is good for expanding on projects, or you'll feel an abundance of energy. Mars is aggressive fire, gets things started up, sets boundaries, and Jupiter is abundance and expands that which it influences. So that could be a whole lot of different things. It could be people telling each other off. Um,
I'm
it,
seeing a lot of that in the readings this week.
It could be setting healthy boundaries.
Mhm.
It's kind of a kick ass, take names kind of energy. So, depending on what end of that you're on, will determine if it's good or bad for you. It's all relevant, right? We also
Right.
have a Taurus stellium, which includes Uranus, the part of fortune, the North Node, and Mercury retrograde. So, a Taurus stellium, we're going to see a lot of disruption in financial markets. You may change where you're banking, your bank may change. Taurus is all about money and material possessions. It's a very stubborn, fixed energy. So, with that kind of power, with Uranus and the North Node, it's a fated kind of energy where whatever does happen, it's written in the stars, so to speak. You could have a sudden epiphany on an invention you want to patent. You may be researching what you have to do to get trademarked or patented. Mercury stations to go direct shortly after our new moon on June the 3rd, and then, takes a week and a half, 2 weeks to get completely out of the shadow. We have Saturn up there slowing down, getting ready to station retrograde for the summer on June the 4th. So, over the next week, we're going to feel a distinct shift in energy. The new moon will make us feel scattered in Gemini. That's an air sign that's very communicative. So there could be a lot of dissemination of information. There could be conflicting information. It's ruled by Mercury. So Mercury just wants to, uh, gossip, chatter. You have to discern what is real and what isn't for yourself in your given situation.
Mhm.
It's the sign of the twins. That energy comes off as a Gemini person always has this searching feeling, like they're searching for their other twin.
Mhm.
And it's very intellectual. So you could contemplate taking up a new study of some sort, or return to something you didn't finish school wise. We also have Pluto interacting with this new moon in positive ways. Pluto's been, it's very slow. It's been in the late degrees of Capricorn. That can be, getting your comeuppance, working too hard, um, learning your lessons, starting fresh. Pluto tears down to rebuild. And during this new moon, it is making a trine, which is a positive lady luck kinds of energy to that Mercury retrograde, which means you could be readdressing things from the past. The retrograde can often, it can make you have reoccurring dreams from the past. It can bring people from the past. It can just bring like thought patterns or moods that you've had from the past. So, Pluto trining Mercury retrograde means maybe crossing your T's and dotting your I's on something from the past. Um, Pluto is also making what's called a sextile, another very positive um, aspect to Neptune. So that really takes the edge off of the harshness of Pluto in Capricorn. Neptune gives us a bit of a reprieve to stop and smell the roses. A lot of times, Memorial Day, people travel to camp or get to bodies of water or take breaks. And so Neptune has you wanting to get some sort of water therapy, hydrotherapy. Um, you're soothed by the sound and feel and energy of water. If you aren't able to participate in bodies of water, then even when you're feeling stressed out, taking one of your therapeutic salt baths or a nice shower, that kind of water can even help your energy,
Mhm.
your aura, your whatever you're absorbing negativity to get, can't speak negatively in your energy to help you cleanse. So a lot going on. I don't know if you're sensing how I'm feeling, chattery, that Gemini, like I have
All day
information.
long, I've been getting contact from all kinds of people, like my clients, like from my media business, also like stuff dealing with my son. I actually got a positive response for his court hearing. So he got approved for DDA services. So I already finished one aspect to do a withdrawal for the next court hearing. And then I have to contact the DDA so that we can move forward to the next step for him receiving those services. And so that's going on. Also, graduation is happening for my son and all kinds of stuff like I have clients from the past who want me to spruce up their website and I'm like busy like I don't know. Like, I don't go to bed till, like, 4 in the
Oh,
morning.
well, we need to get some rest.
I know, right? I mean, like, I still look okay, but I'm not on the inside. But that's that I think that Gemini energy is
There,
like,
yeah,
I have, like,
mutable,
a lot of
yeah.
stuff going on in my head,
And with these
and
aspects, the Mars conjunction, the Taurus stellium, trine and sextile to Pluto. Those add to that, like, let's get things done, let's get organized.
Yeah, and I'm like, let's take a number. I even
Yeah.
had a lady from Denmark. She was like, do you have time for reading? I was like, yes, I have time for reading, but like when? Like, what were you talking about?
Chewbacca, I do prepare the charts in advance. I normally could pull one off out of nowhere, but because I had unhooked everything, I'm not totally hooked up right here. But if you'll put in the chat what you're interested in, I can get it ready another time. So what I've done is I have brainstormed and researched public celebrity personalities that could possibly be considered twin flames, because it would be something in the public genre
That people
that
have
we
been
would observe,
following.
right?
Yeah.
So I started with an initial list. What I want us all to pay attention to, because I'm just going to kind of rattle off half a dozen things about each couple. We can always circle back around, and we could spend a whole night on just one of these charts. So I wanted to try and teach something here, in that when you're trying to look at relationship charts, there are very particular planets, houses, and aspects usually involved, like degrees, for instance. So as I go through this, you're probably going to hear a lot about the 12th house, the ascendant, the personal planets like the sun and the moon, Venus, Mars, those close to the earth. So, because not every couple is going to have the same configurations, but the configurations they share add up to a very a soul contract, a twin flame situation, third parties. And I just want to say in advance to everyone, it is never my intention to trigger anyone. And if anything I have to say about any of these charts in the next few minutes does create a trigger, please stop and be watchful within your mind's eye about what is the trigger, instead of giving it energy. Because when we talk about third party relationships, honestly, all three people have karma between them. So it's not like bad karma. I mean, we get our feelings hurt when others are chosen over us, or something, but we are all in this game of life together. We are all connected from many lifetimes. So part of our growth and spiritual journey is to be non-judgmental and to show compassion to people when it comes to matters of the heart, because ultimately we're here to learn unconditional love, not make judgments on people, and just stay sovereign within ourself, that we have healthy boundaries. You're clear in your own self what it is you want from a person or a relationship. And quite often people are not on the same page at the same time. So the first public personalities I did was Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston, and then with Angelina Jolie interrupting their seemingly, fairy tale romance kind of relationship. And what I did for each comparison is I put the woman in the middle, the twin flame woman in the middle, except for Johnny Depp. I didn't have time for some of his women, so I'll
Sorry.
explain, when I mean time of birth, I'll explain that when I get there. But
Okay.
that one kind of slipped in at the last minute because I was having a hard time finding birth data. But anyway, so Jennifer here is in the middle with Brad as it aspects to her chart. And to go over that, so in the 12th house, her Uranus and his midheaven are at the same point in Libra. The midheaven in anybody's chart is like the big spotlight. It's the very top angle of the chart when you're looking at that round piece of pizza, or that pizza with the 12 slices, the 12 houses. The midheaven is the cusp of the 10th house, right at the very top of the chart. It's considered to flavor everything in a person's life. So his midheaven is in her 12th house, making aspect to her Uranus, which is revolutionary. So that was also the connection. They've had many lifetimes together. And I will make a disclaimer here that this is all for entertainment, in my opinion, about these couples and these people. So I'm not saying this is absolute, but it is my observation. So 12th house, big connection there in Libra. That's marriages, relationships, balance, fairness. Third house, her moon and his sun are sitting at the same degree in the sign of Sagittarius. So they're very much alike. Her moon is Sagittarius, his sun is Sagittarius. So they both find common ground in each other, the need for freedom and a higher love. That's what Sagittarius searches for, is the truth in higher love when it comes to romantic relationships. In the fourth house, her sun is conjunct his Saturn in Aquarius. So they may have met and had a somewhat unconventional relationship. Certainly they're high-powered movie stars. That in of itself could be considered unconventional. And Aquarius is often associated in ancient times with being the symbolism of true love, because in true love, you have trust of total freedom. And everything else before we get there is some sort of behavior pattern or karmic pattern or generational family pattern that we have to work through to get to the very essence of unconditional love. This new moon, and you never know what to believe in the gossip columns and what you see about couples. So I thought I had seen something recently or not too long ago that they had reconnected, that they were actually going out again. But I don't know if that's true. This new moon is pretty significant between them in her 7th house, which is the house of relationships and marriage. She has the Venus, Uranus, part of fortune and North Node. So that would say that for her in this new moon, she has a fated relationship coming together to bring her great fortune. So whether that's him, I'm not sure. The new moon Saturn is also conjunct her sun and Saturn. So this has been a big, long lesson to be learned in that relationship between them.
Yeah, she lost a lot of good years.
And
I
I
mean,
think
she got the youth, the youth part, but now
well,
that
and I'm not sure what you believe in the gossip columns, and it's so apropos that we're bringing up gossip columns and rags like that around a Gemini new moon, because Gemini is very gossipy, very chatty,
Mhm.
and so the new moon Pluto is conjunct her Mercury in the 4th house. So that could mean a change in her home. The 4th house is where she lives. It can also bring the end of the matter. It could bring some sort of change with her mother. And I don't know any of those details, but maybe
Yeah.
if we're,
I believe that her mother was on, on SSI or something like that, and she was, really proactive in trying to, get that for her mother, but I saw a lot of people were like, "Well, she's rich, how come she can't support her mother?" But, I mean,
you don't know
if
what to believe.
Right, right, we don't know, but I do know that she had, issues with her family, and she was going through something like that. That's
Well,
true.
he's a very heavy Sagittarian. So he's
Mhm.
all about freedom. His ascendant, his sun, and part of fortune are all Sagittarius. And bunched up very close to that, um, in Capricorn is Mars, Mercury, Moon, Venus. So
Wow.
he's a heavy Capricorn as well. Probably
Mhm.
relationships are burdened by him being a workaholic.
Right.
I thought a long time ago the issue between him and Jennifer, she was ready to settle down and have children, and he
Mhm.
was in a growth mode in his movie career. And I looked up when that movie Mr. and Mrs. Smith came out, because that's when he met and began seeing Angelina Jolie, and that movie came out in June of 2005. So when you take Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston and Angeline, Angelina
Mhm.
Jolie, and put them together with the aspects of that movie when it came out, it really is pretty wild. So here it is. This is just wild how like degrees line up for these three people. This was some sort of fated involvement. And I know many fans were very upset, that they split up or that he started seeing the other one, because Angelina Jolie has had a reputation of
Yeah,
splitting
she was
up
with
marriages.
Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah. Well, listen, this
Mr.
is pretty
Badass.
wild. So when that movie came out where they started seeing each other and it blew apart his relationship with Jennifer, in his seventh house in Gemini, it was the sun, the moon, and Mercury and Venus all in close degrees, and right on top of Angelina's sun. So where the sun is again the stage, and this was the seventh house, relationships, that movie. So
Mhm.
they probably could not have avoided. There's also Mars in Pisces sitting right on his nadir, which is an angle at the bottom of the chart. It's the cusp of the fourth house. When things hit an angle, those are the chapters in your life. So this completely, brought basically a war to his home. Um, in the first house, that Pluto was sitting square on top of his sons, which was a total, rebirth, regeneration, tearing down. So I just thought it was fascinating how when Angelina and Brad began their relationship and blew apart his relationship with Jennifer, this could not have been avoided. The North Node at 21 degrees and in Aries, it's sitting right on top of Jennifer's Saturn. I mean, this was some kind of karmic lesson between the three of them. Now,
Mhm.
if it was, my first impression is, here you had Jennifer, who, had this very romantic, somewhat fairy tale like relationship with the love of her life. She wanted to settle down and have children. In walks Angelina, who seemed pretty loose and wild. And you've got Brad, who's the freedom loving Sagittarius. He's not ready to settle down and have kids. And, he
But he
does.
sure as hell gained a bunch of damn kids.
I know. And see, isn't that ironic that, one of the things that I think I find interesting for all of us to keep in perspective is not making judgment of, who's the karmic, who's the twin flame, or trying to put
Mhm.
labels on the different people. Because the fact of the matter is, we all share like energy. We all are battling through our childhood traumas and baggage as it relates to projection onto adult relationships. And that's the truth of the matter. So, who knows? Maybe his relationship with Jennifer, with the heavy 12th house connections, that was many lifetimes together. And in this lifetime, it was a completion. And Angelina was who he was meant to be with, although they split up. And but I know one of the common themes in twin flame community is that the whoever is the masculine role, whoever that is, will leave the feminine for some other karmic. And, you know, what is always the question is, well, will that end? You know, will they ever come to their feminine, or, you know, will things ever be put back together with their twin flame? And I just don't think there's a blanket answer, but this is a relationship that we've been watching, you know, out in public for many years. And, you know, maybe your viewers have a opinion about who they think which role is, but in their charts to look at it, they were all fated to go through this together. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it was not like some diabolical plan to make somebody miserable, or, you know, to do someone dirty. I mean, these are behavior patterns that continue from lifetime to lifetime. And that's part of our lesson to learn um, is not to judge people, you know, and if we feel hurt by someone who's let us down or not been who we thought we needed them to be for us, it's on us to work through that and, you know, not let it affect how we approach the next relationship or the next person we meet. That we don't carry
So,
these negative feelings from a relationship on to every person we meet, and, you know, recognize those patterns. So my point
mhm.
is those three people had lessons to learn about relationships and love. Ah,
Right. Now, I actually had a conversation with my Kempo, which is my guru, my teacher,
yes.
in Buddhism. So, he actually contacted me out of nowhere. I was actually, thinking of him lately, thinking that I need more instruction and things, but I didn't really communicate that verbally. But he contacted me out of nowhere. So there you go, mind to mind connection. We were connecting with each other, and I didn't even have to, pick up the phone and say, "Hey, Kempo."
Yeah.
So the message that he gave me was about happiness and how life is about lessons that we need to learn. And as you know, in Buddhism, they believe in reincarnation and karma, and how karma, happens. It follows you for every incarnation that we have. And so I told him I finally understood the reasons why I am single now. I understand why I have an autistic child. I understand why my relationships never really worked out. And I understand what my mission and purpose is in life, and not really, dwell on the past or why am I single and all this and that. Well, it's because we actually chose to be that way, and it's for lessons that we needed to learn. So Angelina, what's her name? The other girl,
Jennifer.
Jennifer and Brad,
Yeah.
they all decided to have that lesson.
Right.
Very much like twin flame connections. We all, and I hear this a lot in the twin flame community. Well, I didn't want that. Who would want that? Well, I mean, you probably had an option, okay, before, you incarnated, but it's like, you possibly knew like what the outcome would be. Like if you were to go through these hard times, this is the lesson that you could learn so you could resolve your negative karma so that it doesn't happen again in the next lifetime, and so that you could have a happy life, hopefully in this lifetime, but also in future lifetimes. And so that's how energy works. So yeah, I
So,
agree.
Chewbacca, what you missed was me saying that Jennifer and Brad were supposedly seeing each other again recently. So I don't know if that's true or not, but that was on one of the. So I was not talking about Johnny and Amber.
Not yet, at least.
Okay, so uh, let's just get Johnny out of the way since he's been big in the news. Um,
Let's not pick on Johnny Boy.
um, I made a comment before that one of your viewers wanted me to expand on, and all I'm comfortable saying is that if you get a pretty good picture of him prior to 2018 and compare it to who we've been seeing on TV, and you compare the way the ears are on the head, the shape of the head and jaw, the shape of the body and height, I would question if that's the same person. There's a film out there on the web you can dig around and find of the CIA picking him up after he threatened to assassinate the president on stage at one of his concerts in 2018. So that's why I made the comment I made. And I know that it upsets all of us to maybe discover someone is not who we think they are, whether they're a big popular personality or someone in our personal life. That's never a good feeling. And again, it's more of the human emotional body that we have to work through, and we have to hopefully process it as opposed to bury our head in the sand. And you may come up with a different conclusion, but that explains why I did make the comment I made. And because they're plastered all in the news, I thought people might like an astrological breakdown on what this might be about. And I'm going to just skip to the end, kind of, in that I do believe he will prevail as the winner out of this case he brought for defamation. I say that because when you take his chart now and you add this coming Gemini new moon in the 10th house, there are part of fortune, the ascendant, and the north node all at 21 degrees, making positive aspects to his Mercury and Venus. So part of his lawsuit is the loss of wages because of her accusations, making him lose his movie contract, which denies him millions of dollars. So if this birth data is accurate, which I have June 9th, 1963 at 8:44 a.m. Central Standard Time. He was born in Owensboro, Kentucky. So that's the chart that I'm using, and what I found is certified birth data for him.
Mm-hmm.
So he has his north node at 22 degrees in the 12th house. His journey here in this lifetime is figuring out that the state of his health depends on the purity and stability of his inner world, his inner mind. So he's had a lot of struggles with drugs and alcohol. She conveys as a very unstable person. So, maybe in one of his, states of a lot of drinking and carrying on, they got together in 2015. He actually married her. He had come off of a 14-year-long relationship with a model named Vanessa Paradis. So again, would we look at Johnny and Vanessa were the twin flames and Amber came in as the karmic, or not? But that is the charts I did was for the three of them. And so that's the lawsuit part, is I think he will prevail based on how the new moon is aspecting to his chart. Then when we look at these him and the two women that he's been involved with and married to, Vanessa, has all of her personal planets in his fourth house right around his Neptune. So she probably really went through a lot with him and his drinking, and
Mm-hmm.
probably was his stability and, mothering or homebody that helped him get through a lot of things. They did have children, although they did not marry. And the interesting connection between them is her moon, Vanessa's moon, and Johnny's North Node are at the same degree in the 12th house. So again, you hear me saying the 12th house between these couples. That's always a very significant thing in these relationships that have a lot of intensity or a lot of chemistry. You feel a buzz, and my observations of relationship charts over the years has been you can look as a chart that people should just get along royally, and they don't. You can look at a couple's chart that it's like all these oppositions and no way they could get along, and they have a great relationship. So that's one of the universe's cosmic jokes, is to keep us guessing when it comes to relationship charts and astrology. But the 12th house does always seem to play a significant role. Vanessa has a 0-degree sun in Sagittarius, and anytime someone has a 0-degree sun, this is a new lifetime for her of like she's cleared a lot of past life, and this is a new lifetime. And in Sagittarius, that is for furthering her truth or furthering her higher love. And if you've ever been involved with somebody that's an alcoholic or has drug dependency problems, you do learn something about unconditional love, because they put you through a whole lot. You're usually the stable one that tries to get them help, even though they've got to ultimately decide to help themselves. But and then they also connected between his Gemini sun and her Gemini Saturn in the 11th house. And in ancient times, the 11th house was actually considered the house of true love. That's where you found unconditional love with a partner. So they had a lot of connections. And then with Amber, most of her connection to his chart is 5th house, which is affairs as opposed to commitments. Even though they did marry, but they were married very briefly, I think less than 2 years. Her sun is right at the top of his chart with the North Node. So again, that's a fated encounter, but it's more to do with profession and financial issues as opposed to the Vanessa connection that's more
Amber to me, and this is just out of observation, she seems like an opportunist. I mean, it's bad to say that about her, but she just tries to find what she can get out of this situation. And I know that her personal information is blasted all over the internet, about her psychological. I haven't watched the full thing. I only watched like
yeah,
bits and pieces.
me
I
too.
really don't know Amber Heard. I didn't even know who she was until this whole thing came out. Like I
Right.
didn't know she was in a movie or, I
She
don't know.
was actually involved with a woman. You're right. She is bisexual. And in fact, Johnny could be bisexual as well. Um,
Closet.
so let's move on. Okay. I'm kind of
Okay.
tired of him. He's been all,
Chewbacca said a couch actress.
like, yes, yes. So we're going to change up our energy here a little bit with, we're
Okay.
going to go over to London, England, and look at some of the royals. So
Oh.
I think one of the interesting public displays of a twin flame relationship would be that between Prince Charles and Camilla Bowles, and of course his marriage with Princess Diana. So I do have Princess Diana's chart to do with them, but let's just look at Camilla and Prince Charles.
Mm.
They both share a Leo ascendant, and her Saturn and Pluto are conjunct his Pluto. That's a very powerful connection. That's again probably, just fated. Like there is no getting through this life path without crossing paths and being very serious with Saturn there.
Mhm.
Her 4th house, Jupiter, is right on top of his Scorpio sun at 22 degrees. And often 22 is associated with twin flames. So then this new moon, there's an opposition of that Sun Jupiter conjunction with Uranus, the part of fortune, and Mercury. So an opposition is a separation of some kind. And I'm thinking more of his mom as opposed to them separating. So again, you don't know what to believe on the news lines when you hear things about them, but there was some kind of affront, one of those formal procedural parliamentary type of roles that these different individuals play, where Camilla was somewhat slighted. So that might be interesting to see how some kind of sudden fortune happens. It's in the 10th house, which has to do with work, that may change their roles that they play for the monarchy. It affects the money, and it's making a trine to his part of fortune. So it's fortunate. It's not a bad thing. It's just a change in their roles through the parliament and them gaining financially from the change. His part of fortune is making a trine, and trine is the 120 degrees between planets that is considered the universe's lady luck. So when people have trines in their own chart or between each other's chart, it's considered, a gift from the universe. His part of fortune is trining her midheaven. So they've had a very fortunate influence for each other. No matter how you feel about, supposedly he was still carrying on with her on his wedding day to Princess Diana, and Princess Diana knew it. And, they basically had an arranged marriage to appease the royal bloodlines. And so then you have Camilla off, to the side as who he really loves, and putting on this show to get married to, someone much younger than him and a lot more naive at that time. In the 11th house, and again, that's the house of true love, her moon, this is Camilla, her moon and Venus are at 10 degrees, and that is at his Uranus. So, moon Venus in the girl's chart on the man's Uranus is fireworks. I mean, there's a very close connection there between them. Whether you like it or agree with it or not, they are very connected spiritually. So when you look at their two charts, you're seeing all this activity in the 1st, 4th, and 11th houses. And those are significant placements when it comes to fated twin flame types of relationships. So when you look at Princess Diana, and I just took her birth chart and basically showed how Prince Charles and Camilla affected her life. Most of it has to do with the 8th house, which is other people's money. That's an arranged marriage to manage and negotiate the investments of what's in the best interest of the country and the monarchy. And so Camilla and Princess Diana had a lot of connections in their chart. Camilla's Mercury, part of fortune, Sun, ascendant, Saturn, and Pluto all hover around Princess Diana's part of fortune. So in the 8th house. So this arranged marriage was financial. So the fact that, and also Camilla's moon and Venus hold hands with Diana's son and Mercury. So these two ladies had a karmic contract before they incarnated here to go through the misery that they went through, because Camilla loved Charles and he went and married Diana. Diana was miserable because she knew Charles and Camilla were so connected. So that's three souls that were pretty miserable for a while. And
Mm-hmm.
then unfortunately Diana dies. So it's really interesting to see how, again, in these relationships, it's not just a man or woman loving another man or woman. That third person involved has a heart and a soul and love too, and feelings too. So
Mm-hmm.
when you start getting upset because your person might be with someone else, I mean, try to look at it as, how does that person maybe feel? I mean, how would you want to be with someone has feelings with someone else? No, you want them to go and be with who they want to be with. And
Mm-hmm.
again, these lessons that we learn, another really interesting connection between Charles and Camilla is their midheavens are almost exactly the same degree. So, they both have that Leo rising, and they're just very connected people. And I know in the public eye, she was really, that whole threesome relationship um, just went through all kinds of negative press. And, I think all of our hearts were with Diana, um, because it was so obvious an arranged marriage between royal families, and not because it was two people madly in love, and yes, she did fall in love with him. But then, remember that interview she did where she said, there's three people in this marriage, and that just doesn't work. I mean, so whatever love she may have had certainly changed. I think it was all about having her boys, and the children. So anyway, so that's Prince Charles and Camilla Bowles. And we're going to stay in London for a minute and go a little further back in the monarchy. I'm not sure if everybody's going to know who Edward VIII and Wallis Simpson were, but this was another example of a twin flame kind of relationship where he was the king of England, and he gave up the throne to marry Wallis Simpson, who was basically a Hollywood starlet, and it was the scandal of all time. So they were both born in like the late 1894, 96. So I don't remember exactly what year he abdicated the throne, but for a man to give up his family royalty and bloodline for the love of a woman, let's take a look at, well, what was between Wallis and Edward. Well, her Saturn was conjunct his Uranus in midheaven. So she was definitely here as a teacher for him. And that was all at 11 degrees in the sign of Scorpio. So again, 11 degrees is always considered a significant number between couples. Scorpio is that very deep, intense kind of feeling for someone on a spiritual level. Her moon in Libra was conjunct his Saturn. So they both had Saturn conjunctions with the other. And that was a mature love. I mean, he definitely chose love over money because he lost, connection with his family, and they loved each other, and that was worth it to him to leave the materialism behind, to have just a down-to-earth connection with this woman. And it was a very unlikely couple to get together. Her Uranus in Scorpio is opposite his Venus. So there was a lot of controversy and scandal around him abdicating and marrying her. A lot of people called him, a traitor, and felt that he was treasonous to abdicate the throne of England. They have a very crowded fourth house between the two of them, which is all about home, nurturing each other. And was also in the sign of Gemini, that fourth house. Her Mercury in Gemini conjuncts his Neptune. Her Neptune in Gemini conjuncts his Jupiter. And there's an aspect called an inconjunct, which is when planets are 150 degrees apart, and it means you're making big adjustments. And in this particular connection, her Jupiter in Leo is inconjunct his 0-degree Mars in Aries. So this was, how we sometimes talk about breaking those generational curses or patterns, right? And
Mhm.
you can look back and all the men or women in a family line that have basically had the same behavior patterns. And so that in conjunction was the adjustment for him to break that generational pattern of doing what everybody expected him to do, right? And he broke the pattern and followed his heart. So that's, you don't see that very often, right? So then let's see the last couple of things between the two of them. A lot of sixth house and second house activity between them, which is again choosing healing and nurturing over material possessions. His moon is at 5 degrees, and his north node is at 5 degrees. So it aspects her 29-degree Gemini sun. So, they were fated to be together. And 29 degrees, this was her completing probably many lifetimes of something with him. And maybe they felt that on a soul level, like this was their last journey together. And that's why it was worth leaving everything else behind. We can only speculate. But while we were in the royals, I thought I'd bring up Wallis and Edward because that was pretty scandalous back in the day.
Okay.
So I'm going to pull out a really wild one here for you. There's been speculation that Kevin Costner and Whitney Houston were a type of twin flame connection. I think that movie Bodyguard, if you've seen that, displayed some kind of chemistry between them that came off in the movie. And then him at her funeral, obviously he was deeply deeply moved. And that's what made me look into their charts, because I've always wondered about Whitney and Kevin. So sure enough, and I didn't know these charts before I started doing this, so I'm kind of learning these as I'm telling them to you, but it's kind of interesting how certain degrees and planets keep coming up. If you keep hearing me talk about Pluto and 11 degrees and the ascendant, so her 11-degree Pluto is making a positive sextile in the 7th house, the house of relationships, to his 1-degree part of fortune. So, those are, you can't get around it. And that part of fortune for him is in the 5th house. So, they most likely did have some kind of affair. I mean, obviously it was discreet, but you could tell there was something more than just their acting between them. And it especially came through when he spoke at her funeral.
Hmm.
So he has an 11-degree Venus that makes aspect to her Pluto. So Venus Pluto, that's a regeneration of, they probably first met and looked at each other and didn't have the first concept that they would fall in love or have a love connection. It was an unlikely connection. They had, an age difference, they had cultural background difference, and wham, there they were, and so her 4-degree Uranus squares his Sagittarius moon. So there you go. Again, Uranus moon. Wow. Pow. Bam.
Mhm.
Stars in your eyes, fireworks blowing up your mind. So that's very consistent with these charts, is the Uranus moon connection, whether it be a conjunction or a sextile. It can be a little different formula, but they still, my point of putting these charts together was to notice there's a similarity in what planets and aspects and energies represent these very intense love connections. 12th house, her Saturn was near his Mercury. So that 12th house again would infer lifetimes together. And so interesting, again, with the 11 degrees, the Pluto, Venus, the 12th house. So then I did John Lennon and Yoko Ono, because they were also a very controversial couple out in public. A lot of
Mhm.
people disagreed with them getting together. They were, again, an age difference with different cultural backgrounds. And again, I'm going to start sounding like a broken record, but these are different couples. I'm on to a new couple, and here I am. I'm saying 12th house. Her Jupiter is conjunct his Neptune.
So, like, when you're doing, personal, charts, when you're comparing them towards their specific love interest, you go automatically to the 12th house and see if there's anything there.
Well, sure, because your eye's drawn to it because there's something there usually.
Mm. Now, let me just sidetrack you for a hot
Well,
minute. You've done my chart with my twin. Was there anything going on up there?
I'm pretty
If you
sure
can
there was.
remember.
I'd have to bring it out, but I'm certain there was. Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because I know that this isn't the first lifetime where he's married somebody else.
Or, or traveled many lifetimes together,
Mhm.
and in other lifetimes, it could have been you married someone else.
Right.
It can
Yeah.
go every which way. And that's what it's all about, is keeping open minded to, and not feeling somehow, you know,
I mean, I know what her purpose was. That's why when I last seen him as he shut the door or whenever I left, I had a feeling that it wasn't the last time I would see him, but I knew that he was, on to the next thing in his life. That's why I never contacted him. I didn't blow up his phone. I just checked in and said, "Hey, are you okay?" Never got an answer, and I just left it like that because
yeah.
I knew what was coming for him, you
And that
know?
was him. He's just not ready to settle down or have a commitment, you know.
Well, I mean, he did with somebody else.
No, but that's not a commitment. It was a front, pressure from family.
Oh,
Um,
I know his circumstance, yeah.
yeah, I
I
mean,
know it was a lesson he had to learn.
it's it's easier to, go the path of least resistance.
Right.
Just like some of these couples, Edward and Wallis, they didn't give a rat's butt about what family or anybody felt. They were fighting,
Mhm.
and they did, pursue their love. They knew that they were supposed to be together. And
Right.
sometimes people do, and sometimes people don't. But I think the point for all of us is, again, to process our emotional baggage from whatever past lives or this life, to get to that unconditional love point in our heart, that,
Right.
yeah.
So regardless of the situation, you kind of, have understanding, compassion, and forgiveness, and
just allow people to be who they need to be and not take it
mhm,
personally that it might not have been with you. Or I mean, that's another thing. I mean, there's just all different scenarios, right? There's just
right.
all different things that can happen.
Now, when you look at a chart, can you look at new suitors?
Sure.
If the twin ain't working out, is there someone
Yes,
new? Like,
absolutely. Absolutely, you can.
uh,
And the other thing about bringing up Prince Charles and Camilla is look at the years that that relationship spanned, that they were apart, right? So
mhm,
they dated early on before he met Diana. She
mhm,
was married, and then he marries Diana and has kids. And I guess, it's speculated that him and Camilla kept on, you know. Um, but then it was a long time before they were actually both free to get married
mhm,
to each other.
mhm.
Yes. There's all kind. It just depends on what you focus on in a chart. You can find. That's what I mean. We could take any one of these charts and spend all night on it. I don't mean to be clipping through, but I'm trying to just make the point of some of these like energies that connect intense relationships
Right.
and how it sets those relationships out differently than just, friends with benefits types of relationships or more superficial arrangements. So with
Mhm,
Yoko Ono and John Lennon, her Jupiter and his Neptune were sitting hand in hand in the 12th house. Jupiter, Neptune, that is
mhm,
thousands of lifetimes together. His Mars conjuncted made conjunction to her ascendant. They were going to be together. And remember, they were very sexual. They were very upfront. They do an interview laying naked in bed. That Mars on the ascendant is the physicality of their relationship. They were
mhm.
very physical and outwardly sexual. And that was part of their time they were in, is the sexual revolution. So
Right.
they were very significant for that generation to make people less Victorian about their bodies and sexuality. His North Node was conjunct her ascendant, and his Sun was conjunct her ascendant. So his Mars, North Node, and Sun were all sitting on her ascendant in the sign of Libra. So they were going to be together no matter what, and they both lost a lot to be together, and caused a lot of friction between other relationships to be together, but they were going to
Mhm,
be together. Her Uranus was conjunct his ascendant in the 7th house. So that's marriage and, more commitment in relationship. She had a 13-degree Venus in Aquarius squaring his Saturn and Jupiter in Taurus. So here again, we have that Saturn energy where they come to teach and from each other and learn about love from each other. Um, and her Saturn was conjunct his moon in the 4th house. So that again brings in the home and sharing a sense of security together, somewhat unconventional being in Aquarius. And then she has an 11-degree Sagittarius moon making aspect to his North Node, part of fortune, Jupiter and Saturn. So here we go again. We have the 12th house, we have 11-degree planets, we have Saturn. So these are some of the consistencies between people in their really strong connections and relationships that we've watched in public. And some of these, I'm getting kind of back in time, but some of the new people out there, I just think we've gone through some period of relationships are so disposable with a lot of the Hollywood stars, finding ones that, like, I should probably dig out birth data between Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn, because I think they've been together close to 40 years. And they had an interesting beginning in their relationship where they weren't together, and they didn't get married ever, I don't think. But anyway, and the last one that I've prepared for country music fans out there is Johnny Cash and June Carter Cash. And if you've never seen the movie called Walk the Line, it's a great rendition of their relationship. And when you watch it, it was definitely in the twin flame genre. It took a lot of time and rough times for them to ever get through the stuff they had to get through to ultimately be a very beautiful commitment and marriage in the end. They were both married when they first met. There was an immediate attraction. You know, he had a really bad drug problem that she helped him through. So when we look at the two of them, we have in the 7th house her 11-degree Uranus. Isn't it weird how those same numbers seem to keep bringing up between different people? So her 11-degree Uranus and part of fortune is conjunct his Venus. And so again, Uranus, Venus, fireworks, revolution. You're blowing my mind. You've revolutionized my world, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And if you watch that movie, it shows him as just completely blown away by her, you know. And she was pretty, you know, she blew him off a lot because of his drug problem, not wanting to be involved with, you know, the drinking and the pills. He had a Scorpio moon that made a trine to her 7th house. So his moon was also into that 11-degree Uranus part of fortune, Venus mixture. His North Node and ascendant, which North Node is always about fated encounters, was sitting on top of her 7th house cusp at 12 degrees Pisces. So very spiritual connection. And they were in their later years. You know, he did a lot of gospel music, and they always had a strong connection to family and church and the country. You know, they lived out in the country. And so then she has a 1-degree Cancer sun that made a trine or a positive aspect to his 1-degree Mars in Pisces.
Interesting.
Yeah. So she was Cancerian, and he had a really bad pills and alcohol problem. And if you know, I do think that movie goes along with a lot of truth of what she went through. And boy, you know, she really did try to nurture him and do that Cancerian kind of, you know, wanting him to heal and be loved and safe and create a home and family for him. He eventually, you know, figured it out. I think he had to hit rock bottom. But then she has a 29-degree Neptune. So anytime we have planets at 29 degrees, this lifetime is the end of that pattern. And it's in Leo conjunct his Neptune in the 12th house. So there we go again. We have 29-degree conjunction Neptune in the 12th house. So they had journeyed probably many lifetimes of drug problems. And then the last comment I made on this was her Mars in Leo makes a trine to his part of fortune in the 11th house. So that is a very positive, you know, made money with each other, strong connection. So yeah, a couple of the other ones that I had on a list that I chose these because some of them get kind of old, like people might not really know who they are, but
I
David
think
Bowie.
Shabaka knows about it.
Yeah, I'm kind of seeing some of this out in the corner of my eye. David Bowie and his wife, Inman, seemed to have a very strong spiritual connection, but I could not find her birth data anywhere. And then Harrison Ford and Callista Flockhart, they were both married and met, and, fireworks sparked and they disrupted their lives, and they're still together. And then Paul Newman and Joanne Woodward were um, your comments, Shavaka, are priceless. He probably started an opium den 300 years ago, and you're not a nerd. I love it. So anyway, yeah. And so, and then there was some speculation about Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga having a connection, but I didn't get that vibe off of them. If we knew the birth data, we could say that Jesus and Mary Magdalene were twin flames, but I have no idea how you get that birth data. And there's so many speculations out there as what it is. I would rather know, we're working off of pretty solid birth information.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that is, I think, fascinating that we have, this Gemini ragtag kind of circulating information energy over the next couple of weeks. We're still feeling the presence of our Scorpio eclipse that will be influencing things for about 6 months. And so we're in times that are really shifting and changing, and still a lot of media information that comes out. And I guess we'll maybe watch some headlines for any Hollywood types, and anybody interesting. If your viewers want to email me at lionmountainhealing@gmail.com and have some suggestions of couples you'd like me to work up charts, I'm happy to do that. So yeah, it's kind of fun to be able to watch them in the public eye, and then look at their chart to see there's actually a rational explanation for, their connection and their craziness with each other.
So that could actually explain like how like if let's say we tag it to like twin flames, there's a lot of people who actually resonate with that kind of energy because of maybe their placements in their chart, because
That,
everyone is.
and there's a lot of non-Hollywood people that believe a Hollywood person is their twin flame.
Oh yeah, I've gotten that too.
And
I
so,
actually have clients, but yeah.
yeah, I mean, who knows? I'm just I'm fascinated by, no matter what label you want to put on it, but when there are two people with unworldly intensity kinds of energy between them, you usually have something, numbers of the degrees connecting. Uranus, Saturn, Pluto, these are the outer planets that have long lasting influences on our life.
Mm-hmm.
And, the 12th house and ascendant, those physical connections where people, really, they're not going to stay away from each other. They'll fight for what they feel, and they'll give up money and materialism to be with that love of their life. And so that is, I think, very refreshing.
Yeah, I would say, yeah.
you
Yeah,
know
I've seen it all.
yeah,
I'm gonna just break for a little bit. It's cold here. I gotta put the heat on. Is that okay?
sure,
I
sure.
feel like I'm like drifting away. Hold on. I'll
get
be
your
back.
get your blankie.
Okay.
So when I was putting together our article for this month's Gemini new moon on lionmountainhealing.com, uh, I was speaking to, some of the things that Mercury represents, which is the ruling planet of Gemini. And he was often considered Quicksilver. He had wings on his heels, and he had a little helmet with his with wings. He was the only immortal that could travel between different parallel universes, whether it be the underworld or heaven, without having to go through any kind of test or passage, or pay anything. Um, let's see. He ruled over wealth, good fortune, fertility. Let's see. In Tarot, isn't it the magician is the trickster? So that would be Mercury.
Hmm.
And so one of the interesting contradictions, I think, in this life with that is represented by Mercury's symbolism is he carried a staff that was called the caduceus, which is our medical in the United States, our medical symbol with the staff, with the wings and the snakes going around it. And, there's part of the medical community that does not believe that should be a symbol of our medical industry, because a long, 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 long time ago, it represented liars and thieves. And I think that's so interesting that, it also represents alchemy and wisdom, but, to have something in medicine that symbolizes deception, it's just kind of
Ironic.
a sad irony is what I was going to say. And so, and then one of the, so the area of the body for Gemini is like the chest, arms, hands, lungs, ribs, respiratory system, thyroid.
Okay, buddy. Sorry, my
What's
son
he doing?
hungry. He wants nachos.
Oh,
Yeah.
um,
Earlier, I did the reading for, I think it was Gemini, or maybe it was for Libra. I think Libra. He was like, ramen. I'm like, okay.
well, so anyway, I was picking up on one of the common uh, emotions that people having difficulty letting go can experience is depression. And I think that there's been a lot of media about mental health. I might be wrong, but I think this month has been Mental Health Awareness Month. And so some of the natural ways to help with depression would be oats with vervain or lemon balm, borage. Tansy is kind of like I used to grow that. I haven't grown that in a long time, but these are kind of citrusy kinds of herbs. Basil, and of course, sounds corny, but anytime you can journal or write about how you're feeling and or hear you speak it, you can automatically heal some of your depressive emotions. Because sometimes if you just hear yourself say something, there's some part of your conscious mind that recognizes that, well, that's not healthy to spend your mind's energy on. Certain things just like that, that letting go is what creates the depressive feeling.
Mhm.
So this new moon is, a good time to, write down things that you've had trouble letting go of, or just make acknowledgement that, you're in control of your own ship. And so we're not reading signs yet, Cameron. We're just giving generalities of the new moon energies. And Let's see. I think that is about it. It's a time for, being prepared, self discipline. You might start some kind of new gym routine or training because anytime you can, move the energy on in your body, you can release pent up negative uh, feelings like that you're either holding on to from within yourself or that you've picked up externally from your environment. But it's always good to exercise and try to walk it off or work it off. Um,
Huh.
It's nachos there.
Okay, sir.
is he telling you to make them?
No, he announces what he wants to eat, then he goes and fix it himself.
Okay. Oh, cool. Well, that's good.
Yeah, but he has to tell me he wants nachos later. But
Okay.
it's just like an attention, kinda like your dogs. Like,
Yeah,
you hear you talking, like, "Row, row, 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 row," yeah. I'm like, "Oh, mama's talking. Okay, I gotta go out there and tell her that I want nachos."
they were so nice and quiet, and then when we started talking, they just started going off, didn't they?
Yeah. Uh,
So that,
anyway.
mainly I wanted to also remind people that we're still in the influences of our Scorpion eclipse. So all of those feelings of tearing down to rebuild and reinventing things or yourself are still on top of this new moon energy. It's not like one goes away and starts another. It all starts melding together. So these are really interesting times for getting down to what's authentic in your life. Um, what is it that makes your soul rock? Are you just walking through kind of like zombie going through the motions? This would be a time to make a plan for, upgrading all kinds of things. How you
Mhm,
look.
don't settle, guys, in other words. Like
Did you want to pull cards for each sign? Or someone there talking about what signs are we doing?
I guess we could, I suppose, right?
Well, the deck that I have here is my standby that I use all the time because I don't really have. I was trying to think of a Gemini, Mercurial kinds of cards, but I just kept defaulting back to the good old Aquarian tarot.
Oh,
Which one do you want to use?
hmm, Gemini. Well, you know what?
Mercury, yeah.
Mm, well, I have my crystal deck.
Oh, you know what? I thought about that. The some of the crystals that um come under Mercury are, let's see, where did I find that? The Sabian symbol for 9 degrees of Gemini new moon is, quote, a quiver filled with arrows. Um,
And a quiver is like a thing that holds the arrows, right?
yes, and you
Okay.
want to be careful um, around people who have changeable moods, that people can change moods without warning. So you want to,
You're talking about a Gemini?
well, this particular 9 degree new moon and
Mhm.
the stones, part of the stones. I mean, there's others, but some of the stones ruled by Gemini are moonstone, citrine, calcite, opal, agate, and tiger's eye.
Interesting.
So you said you were going to use the crystal deck.
Yeah, I'll just read, like, just the word, not the whole description because there's a lot of
Right.
information that goes with a crystal, but yeah, I can pull just a card for each sign
All right.
for the new moon, right? So, I guess we're gonna start off with who's Aries first, right?
We are, yes.
Okay, let me see if I can find Aries. Where are you? Aries. Where are they?
I was watching Strange Things. Wonder what that is.
Oh, strange thing. It's a thing on
Oh,
Netflix.
yeah. I have never seen that.
Oh man, it actually got me. I was kind of scared when I watched it. I was like, "What is that?" I kept watching it, and it was just freaky.
Ooh. Well, for Aries, I got the devil.
Ooh, that's Capricorn energy.
The devil made me do it.
Yeah. Ooh, look at this. We have soul connection, deeper connection.
So the people in this card are walking away. So
Maybe walking away to a deeper connection, not being attached, or maybe the person Aries is connected to, I don't know, Capricorn. That's what I got. I see that there's something that they need to see about maybe their attachments, maybe their obsessions, and that's something that Aries might need to look at
but
during
the
this new
devil
moon.
is also bondage, like, how people will tend to, create problems when they don't
Mhm.
have to. They'll.
Yeah, because Aries, they're very impatient, and sometimes they kind of run and they don't kind of stick around for long term. But if you want something deeper, I guess you have to look at like your obsessions or.
Well, and with the Gemini full moon and the two people here, it's kind of like, the good angel and the bad angel on your shoulder, maybe
Mhm.
trying to discern what is the right thing to do. Are you going to keep
Right.
yourself in bondage under false pretenses? And, that's how the devil would like you to stay. The devil wants you depressed and down and forlorn. So, this is a good time to break the ties that bind.
Right. Yeah, I think that
Bold.
I
That
don't know.
breathes
I keep
fire. Woo.
Wait a minute.
What's
It's
going
like
on?
someone yelling outside. And I saw like a little kid like running around over here.
Disseminating information under our Gemini moon.
I know, it's like all that communication is like, what? Like I'm hearing you, but I hear that stuff going on outside.
Let's see,
Anyways.
the moon is in the fourth quarter of Aries tonight, squaring Pluto.
Oh,
That is a lot of yelling.
yeah.
Venus enters Taurus in the morning. That should be
Hmm.
fun.
Okay, so like kiss and make up? Like
Yeah,
what the hell is that? Like
have some good food.
argue and then like make up sex, like good morning. All right, so after Aries is who's after Aries?
Taurus.
Taurus.
Ah,
Let's see here, Taurus. There you go.
oh. The world.
The world.
A lot of major arcanum coming out here.
Yeah.
So this is having all the elements, at your disposal to manifest whatever it is you need.
Yeah, and I also have time travel.
Oh, I love it.
So yeah, so that would actually work, right? So for Taurus might be traveling around this new moon. And it says present moment. So maybe Taurus needs to really look at the present moment and see where they're going.
And a completion. We're in the fourth quarter tonight. and the new
Mm-hmm.
moon is a new beginning. So maybe this weekend is a completion of a cycle to start with a fresh slate on Monday with the new moon.
Mm-hmm. Or they could actually be, they might go into places. Maybe they have to go somewhere. Okay, so
There's a lot of traveling this weekend, I think, for a lot of folks.
yeah, there is.
So then we have Gemini for the Gemini new moon.
Okay, Gemini. Okay, it's them kids again. Gemini.
Yeah.
Let's see what's going on with Gemini.
Oh,
Interesting.
the chatter.
I have quartz cluster, new inspiration.
Yeah. Maybe using the crystals to get some clarity, clear the energy. This is
Yeah, inspired to like were the Geminis inspired to like argue or
yeah.
like I don't know what this is.
Well, it's channeling a very confusing energy into something creative. So if you've got a lot of irons in the fire or a lot going on or too much to do, it's trying to ground your energy to focus into one creative thing.
Right? Yeah, because this looks like a cluster. It looks a little confusing also.
Yeah. This is confusion too.
Uh-huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So if Gemini, if you're a little scatterbrained right now, just kind of ground yourself, don't do anything. Like you're beating yourself up over nothing, Keep
Yeah.
still. Can you keep still?
Yeah.
All right, who's after Gemini?
We have Cancer.
Cancer. Okay, let's see.
The crab. The crab.
All right, let's see what's up with Cancer.
Maybe people be eating seafood this weekend.
Oh God. Yeah, actually, you know what? My son wanted fish and chicken and fish restaurant.
Oh.
It's a local joint. It's called J and J's or something like that. And I mean, for what I know, they do well. I eat their okra.
I had some wonderful shrimp fried rice tonight.
Oh, that sounds so good. I wish I could eat that, but I'm vegan. We have Master Diva, spiritual support. Interesting.
So again, I think that the theme for a lot of this new moon energy is, trying to channel the scattered energies into a creative venture.
Right, like use that energy into something that is beneficial, kind of like picking up on a project and kind of working on things. And you're your own channel, and this kind of reminds me of what you say, the 12th house, right? Because
Yeah.
it has that point at the very top. Um, I see. So from what I can remember about this particular crystal is that there's like a prism, like a rainbow prism deep down inside. And basically you can actually channel energies from within, okay, to get the information you need. So once you channel the energy, I guess then take action.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely see that there could be a new beginning for Cancer. You just have to make a decision.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's pretty good. Okay, so
Leo.
Leo.
Yeah, they try to be creative. Whoop.
Let's see, what's Leo up to for the new moon?
Leo's being shy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Leo's being the hermit.
Oh, look at this. I have ancient healing, cord cutting.
Ah.
So maybe Leos are thinking very deeply about cutting some stuff that doesn't serve you.
Introspection.
Yeah, doing the healing work, possibly going back to your roots. And I definitely see that there's like some kind of new beginning for a change. And in order to do this, you have to look at your past and possibly reflect on that so that you can remove that, whatever that clutter or that attachment that you have going on, and then releasing yourself from it. That's what it feels like to me.
Well, and two, the introspection to find the inner spiritual light to follow instead of, Leo can get prideful or, ignore their inner discernment, or, sometimes just has to let go and let God lead instead of being the leader all the time.
Okay,
Surrender.
well,
Yeah,
it's okay to sit back every once in a while, right?
that's right. Gotta do it. Gotta do it.
Okay, so after Leo is
Virgo.
Virgo. Okay. Let's see what is going on with Virgo at this time. Interesting. I have chakra ray, chakra balance.
Ah, I have the Chariot.
Interesting.
A lot of movement, a lot of fast stuff going on for Virgo.
Yeah, but the interesting part is that this is a cube.
Yeah.
So the balance, I really feel like,
Yeah, it's about balance. On one version of the Chariot card, it's the black and the white horse, or the yin and the yang, or
right, you have to have balance between both before you can really move forward.
right.
Huh, interesting.
Things going very fast.
Well, Virgo needs to hurry the F up because they take too damn long. Just speaking about myself. All right, after Virgo is Libra, I think.
Yeah. Oh, boy, that was fast, Libra.
Libra, I saw that Libra had it going on, but you have Five of Pentacles. Oh my god. Let's see. I think they had something going on, but I can't remember.
They feel left out.
Yeah. Well, this is interesting. We have Ganesha quartz soul cleansing. It's like a green quartz crystal. Looks pretty. So this is Lord Ganesha, and I really feel like maybe it's time to do some soul cleaning, soul searching about why you're feeling left out.
Or
Especially.
maybe, it's also an air energy like our Gemini new moon. So, intellectualizing their spirituality, or
Overthinking.
yeah, and studying other theories or other cultures. They're feeling somehow detached from, or maybe forlorn, or out in the cold spiritually, is what this card says. So the new moon Gemini air energy should spark a Libra to, find that passion to reignite your connection with source, whatever that might be for you.
Right. So, like giving it up to spirit, let spirit guide you rather than trying to make a decision. Because at this point, I mean, you look like you need some help. I feel lonely. I feel left on the cold. And then I see some purging going on, which it could be a good thing. So, use that new energy to do that.
Right.
So after Libra, we have Sag, right?
No, we have Scorpio.
Oh, I missed out on my
You're going to miss out on Scorpio.
Scorpio moon.
Scorpio wants to be left secret.
I know, right? Like, we get a hall pass. All right, Scorpio.
Scorpio's working hard here.
Yeah, I have been working hard.
Soldier, getting it all together.
Oh,
Moving.
look, we have inner child innocence.
Oh, working hard on those childhood wounds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're almost at the finish line. You got this. I mean, for Scorpio to address, those deep wounds, um, I really feel like there's an innocence that you're gonna find out about that, and you're very soon going to be able to release and let go by that new moon. I really do feel that. So I feel that that's actually a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Completion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Especially with third party situations and you want to just have a fresh new start. I
Right.
definitely see that there's balance coming through. So yeah, keep working on your inner child. All right. So next we have Saggy, right?
Yes. Now we have Sagittarius.
Okay.
Oh, Sagittarius wants justice.
Okay. Maybe with a
The
Libra.
truth. Yeah. The truth of the matter.
Wow. I have Master Healer, self-healing.
Mm,
So maybe, finding justice within yourself and not looking outside of yourself.
right.
Yeah, instead of like going to places, just can go within.
Well, and also feeling that you're being fair to yourself instead of sacrificing yourself to please everyone else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I also am getting that you're really good at healing people and so, also with yourself too. I really feel like there's two situations that you're going through and you're going to have to make a decision. And I really feel like it's going to work, but you have to make a choice. That's what I feel it's coming towards my Saggies around this
Mhm.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They get bored easily too.
Mhm. Well, I mean, it feels like a new option, like another path, if you will. Something that they haven't tried lately. All right. So, let's see. I think next is Capricorn. All right. Let's see what Cappy needs to know.
Oh, poor Cappy. He's working way too hard.
Capricorn.
What's the point for all this hard work?
And I pulled out the Ganesha quartz.
Oh,
I was drawn to this crystal earlier.
interesting.
Yeah, it says soul cleansing. Maybe you need to just clear everything out. Like if you can't, just
Rest.
go just take a time out. Like it's
Yeah.
okay. You don't have to finish what you're working on. Take a break.
Time to rest.
I think I need to tell myself that, but I've been working on my website and I don't want to. I want to work on my website.
Well, maybe take little mini breaks.
Okay. Maybe. That's why I was telling everyone before you got on.
Yeah.
I was asking everyone, like, what are you guys watching? And blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't know. I haven't watched a movie in a long time. Actually, the last thing I ever watched was on Netflix and was Stranger Things. That was
Oh,
the last thing I actually watched, and that was a long time ago. I don't know what's out there, guys. I don't watch TV or anything like that. So, all right. So, next is what? Aquarius?
Aquarius.
Okay.
Is the dawning of the age. I'm going to start singing.
Aquarius, what's going on with Aqua? Ooh, this is pretty. Nirvana quartz. Clearing karma.
Walking away.
Yes, you know what? I Aqua was the last reading I did for the week, and it was about walking away, just let go. So there must be someone that Aqua is dealing with, and Aqua, this is another sign. Just
Yeah.
walk away, let go.
Yeah.
gonna be okay. If that's your person, they're gonna come back. But this time, it doesn't look great because what I saw with Aqua today was the person that they're dealing with were using them for money, or they have money issues, and money is really important to them. Material, just being materialistic, like wanting to work on their big dreams and aspirations, and they didn't really include Aqua into the whole mix of things. And the best thing is just let go. I mean, that's what true love is about, right? Letting go. Yeah, clear your karma. And like I said, if they come back, then hey, I mean, they come back. You'll be all right.
This card also has a full moon, I mean, a new moon on it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
It's very
it's
soon.
about new beginnings. And, every time something ends, you have a new beginning of something new.
Yeah, don't be afraid of the new stuff. That old stuff is overplayed.
Yes.
Okay, so
Pisces.
Pisces. All right.
The pool fell out.
Oh, let's see.
Faith to walk off that cliff.
Well, I think that Pisces, I don't know, Pisces energy is like kind of out there lately, but maybe because they're kind of dualistic, kind of like Gemini. Oh, I have Palladian Azurite disc, fifth dimensional activation. You know what? Actually, they actually had this card this week. That's kind of weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you're like connected with Palladians or Pallades, you're actually connecting to your higher self with the fifth dimension. So I mean, you're actually being the fool, like going after like this kind of like new beginning. And
Renewed faith that you always have what you need.
yeah, because Pisces are very spiritual.
Yes.
And yeah, I see that Pisces, you're gonna make a decision on what actually grounds you. And it's gonna bring you to love. It's gonna bring you to something that you actually enjoy. And I really feel like that could be work related, but it could lead to a stable partnership. So take the risk.
This could mean a Pisces going into rehab.
Well, that too.
Having the faith to start a new pattern, a new healthier energy.
Mhm. Okay. Well, I mean that's all she wrote.
That is all she wrote.
I guess let's see, what do we have in the comments? Because I haven't been seeing that. Gemini, Scorpio, okay. All of what? I don't think she want more stress. And no news yet. Oh man, oh. Yeah, guys. Let's see here. Let me actually take this thing down. Boop. Okay, we're back. So I hope that was helpful.
Fun and different.
Yeah, I mean, I know my energy isn't the greatest tonight, but that was because I had food poisoning earlier. And so I'm really trying to brace myself. Actually, in the middle of this live, I mean, my tongue was like starting to feel like it was going numb. I was like, okay, don't go there. Like, you got this. Turn the heat on.
So have you had any Novocaine or dental work in the last 6 to 8 months?
That's an interesting question. I don't
Sometimes I
remember.
think there's some of that still in our system that can, come back to
All
metabolism.
I know, I need a new dentist because they told me that I need like what is it? One of my tooth like redone or a fill-in. No, they said a crown. I need a crown. I'm
Oh,
like, you know how much a crown costs? Okay, honey. And she told me this like almost a year ago. But the last time I had a fill-in, like I think it fell out because she was over drilling and she's a little like Asian girl. I have nothing against no Asian because I'm Asian, okay? But she was like overdoing it and stuff. And so when I came back, I said, I think like it's missing. She's like, no, that's not it. And I think that it was just her ego because she's a doctor and, like she's been doing it but she looks young. And I'm like, look, honey, we all make mistakes, okay? Like when I chew, I can't chew good and I still can't chew good. So I really need to find a new dentist.
I've noticed that there are certain practices that just are crown city. They don't even want to consider repairing something. They just want to crown it. And
Oh, yeah, that's a whole like tooth
yeah,
thing. Like
I had one place say, "Oh, that's a big filling. You should have it crowned." And I'm like, "But it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm not going to
Mhm.
do something until something happens." And
Yeah, until it's like an emergency. You're like, "Oh, get me in there."
I'm trying to think, what was I crunched down on something and a piece of filling broke. And I knew if I went back to her, she'd crown it. So I asked my neighbor for where they go. And I went to this other guy and he was great. He was like, "Oh no, we can just keep filling that, the
Yeah, I
less,
need one of
the
those.
less, or more conservative strategy instead of all this, you know, um,
No,
you know,
I've noticed the turnaround of those doctors in that office. I've been there for a good couple of years, and I've noticed every time I go in, it's almost a different doctor.
well, and one of the interesting things about Mercury itself is it can dissolve certain metals like gold and silver, and that forms the amalgam, which that's what they used to put in fillings. Now they've determined that whatever's in amalgam attributes to Alzheimer's in the brain. So now they're
Well,
telling
I'm
everybody
fucked because I got all that all in my mouth.
they'll keep telling you to get it out, and use the other type of stuff. And who knows? I mean, I think it's
Mhm.
on what you believe. If you believe that's what will happen, then you'll manifest it. And if you don't believe it, you'll be fine. So just don't believe it.
Yeah, that's why I was trying not to believe that my tongue was getting numb. I was like, "Oh god."
This is an interesting time because you more and more you keep hearing about time travel. You're hearing more about human trafficking, in the mainstream. So it's like all this stuff sort of secretive, that Scorpio eclipse and the Gemini new moon, that's a lot of information circulating.
Mhm. Oh,
So
yeah, remember we were talking about, well, you would be interested to see what's on the news, but guess what's on the news these days?
it's really weird, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm just seeing here, are there any questions from anybody? Let's see.
Shabaka, she thinks her man is shit. A lot of people, they kind of think very negatively about their divine love because, they don't pull their part of the bargain, until much later for most of them. And it is what it is, guys, okay? That's why we need to like really be realistic about our divine counterparts. And nobody's perfect. We're not perfect either. We got faults too. So yeah. Johnny Depp, Amber Heard, and school shootings. Yeah.
They're
I
trying to take
heard.
our guns. So here's a question for everybody. How does an 18-year-old kid living with his grandmother afford $5,000 worth of guns, ammunition, and a $70,000 pickup truck? That means there's money and some other fraction behind him. And the next day, one of the high profile senators was trying to bring to the floor of the Senate a bill to disarm, us from our
Weapons.
guns, turn your guns in. So, it's getting all so predictable, and
Yeah, it's
it is
stupid.
tragic, that people die and everything, but it's so much more than what the surface of the thing itself is, you know. I mean, you know, it's just really all kinds of things, sort of all kinds of narratives kind of falling apart. And
A lot of people don't believe
yeah.
what's going on. I mean, maybe the older
You know
generation.
what? Let me look this up while we're. So, another book that I really love, I don't think I've ever shown y'all this. It's called The Rulership Book by Rex Biltz. And so, if you have something in a chart that you've not seen and you want to figure out what is that, so what I'm going to look up here, and I don't know if it's in here or not, but it's the word recall. So I don't know if it's in my little neck of the woods or what, but Jif Peanut Butter had a huge recall because they had possible salmonella contamination.
Oh my God, you talking about salmonella? I got food poisoning. Like, what in the world's going on?
I mean, that is so Scorpio and Neptune. So what's so weird is, number one, I never really pay attention to those things. It's not in here. So I never really pay attention to recall lists, but I think I was just sort of,
Well, they're doing that with baby milk.
yeah, looking for stuff to read in the news. And I happened to download the list, and darn if my peanut butter wasn't one of those numbers on the list. So I go to the grocery store and I'm like, I got to have peanut butter. And the shelves are empty. There's very little to choose from. So I found.
Oh, I have peanut butter sitting in my cupboard from a long time ago.
So I'm checking out, you know, and the girl putting stuff in bags kind of looked like a manager type, and it was funny what she said. She was like, "Have you ever had a peanut butter and banana sandwich?" I was like, "Yeah, I like
What's
those."
she talking about?
I know. She saw my jar of peanut butter, and I said, "You know, my peanut butter is on the recall list." She goes, "Well, did you get a refund?" I was like, "I was wondering, what do you do?" And she said, "Just bring it in. We'll pay you for it because it was recalled." So it was Jif, and it was part of a news feed is how I got onto it. And
So what happened? Just salmonella?
yeah, but there's a ton of different like sizes, the different 8-ounce, 16-ounce, all the different crunchy and creamy.
Oh my God, that's a big loss for that company.
And there wasn't any of it on the shelves. So, okay, let's think about this. Recall, redo. Okay, Mercury retrograde. Peanut butter is agricultural peanuts, so that might bring in the Taurus Venus connection. So in this, I've got a chart for this new moon. Where is it? Venus Taurus. Venus Taurus. So
Shibaka says peanut butter, banana, and jelly is the best. I never had that.
I've never done the jelly on top of it. Here we go. So let's see. What is Taurus and Venus doing? Well, we have this Taurus stellium with Venus, Uranus, part of fortune, North Node, Mercury for this new moon. So, and then Venus changes signs in about a week. So, recall. Mercury retrograde, Venus in Taurus. Yeah, it's an agricultural hit for sure. But how many people, I mean, does everybody routinely like check the recall list? I don't.
No, but
Freaky that I happen to. And so I'm talking to my friend on the phone, and I was like, "Did you see where Jif peanut butter was recalled?" And you know, she's like you and I. You have a jar of peanut butter on your shelf forever, you know. And she said, well, let me look at it. And sure enough, the number she read off was on the list.
wait a minute. How far back does it go?
Well, the expiration date was like June 2023. So that was whatever.
I
However,
guess I'll look in my cabinet to see what's up. I don't know. I think I bought peanut butter a couple months ago. It wasn't recent.
yeah, I mean, mine wasn't recent either.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I immediately was thinking, what what represents that in the stars? So I guess it's the Mercury retrograde stuff coming back or recalled.
Mm-hmm.
Salmonella is very, it's a poison, so that's Neptune. Neptune is in its home of Pisces.
Well, I sure as hell got hit. Like, I don't like it.
I'm sorry.
I look kind of weak, but I'll be all right. Later on tonight, I'm gonna be working on my website, and that's gonna put me in my Zen spot.
Some ginger ale and saltine crackers.
Well, so I was trying to figure out what I got. Where did I get the food poisoning? And I'm vegan, but I cook meat for my boys. So I cooked meat yesterday, like steaks, but the day before it was chicken. And I'm thinking, did I touch the chicken onto something that I ate? Like, I don't get it because I don't know. The thing I ate
So,
last night.
true food poisoning comes on to you. The way you tell if it's food poisoning or just some other bug is you're sick within 2 to 4 hours of what you ate.
Okay, then that must have been the pancake. So there is this thing where you use a mason jar cover, okay, and you make your batter. And I made like a protein pancake made with chickpea flour, with baking powder, with salt, sugar, and oil and water. I whipped that thing up and I made it for my son for a midnight snack. Because I kid you not, it was like 1 or 2 hours later. I woke up like sweating, and so like, what in the hell is this? Like, I was kicking off the covers, and I was hot. I was like, oh my god, I'm thirsty. Then I had to go relieve myself. It was horrible. Then I was shaking and stuff. I was like,
Oh my
ugh.
gosh.
Yeah. I was like, what? And then I was trying to like, you got this, girl. Like, no, you like,
Power through it.
you got it. You don't have to call 911.
I don't see any questions.
Yeah. Is there any questions for Sunny before we cut it off? Because we're just like shooting the shit over here. Oh, Norma lies. Her phone got messed up a couple days ago. She had to get a new phone, I think.
Oh my gosh. That is such a hassle.
I actually had a dream about my phone broke a few days ago too. It was the same day that I saw that she said her phone broke. That was 3 days ago.
I keep getting this notification from my carrier about I have to do something with my phone before the end of June. Like,
Yeah, I keep getting that too. It's like I don't know if I should buy a brand new phone. Guys, I have a Samsung S7.
it's older.
Yeah, but it works.
Yeah.
And why should I pay? Like, my boys, they have like the latest like iPhones and stuff. My parents, they have the watch. Like, y'all are fancy. As I like my Android.
Yeah, I don't want a fixture on my body like that.
Well, my parents, they're I think they're just living it out. They're embracing the technology. They're all into like the Bluetooth thing, the watch, the phone, like, and like, yeah, they're all over that. I'm the only one that has the Android. Everyone else has Apple.
I have an Android.
Oh, there you go. See, we have something in common.
Hmm.
I like Android too.
Yeah. I never have done the Apple stuff. It's
I
more,
did a long time ago. And the reason why I don't like it is because it broke. And I think I was going through Philly one time and the towers were switching and it made me go in a loop. I was like, no, then, but that was a long time ago, but I wasn't sold back then after that. That was when the Razor came out, I think.
Oh,
Didn't you
right.
have like iPhone Razor or something? I don't
Right.
remember.
Yes. It was all the rage.
Yeah. It was all the rage when I had that chunky cell phone mounted in my Camaro back in the day.
The bad
That thing was
phone.
huge. It was like it was a box. Like,
Now,
back then we were cool, when we had that. No.
so an eclipse is not until November. We're through the most recent eclipse season, and I think the next one's in November.
Is that 6 months from now? Because I keep getting like in the next 6 months, it's a transition, like a transitory type period between
It
now
is.
and 6
Yes,
months.
it is. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, because I channeled that today in a particular reading.
I'm not
So
sure how to answer you, Chewbacca.
let's see here. The pregnancy of the karmic, can you tell something about it? The child was created with bad intentions. Okay, that's usually a sign of a dream visitation. Mm.
When
Oh,
are the
Chewbacca,
planets?
did you have like a dream that somebody got pregnant, like the karmic got pregnant? Good night, No More Lies. I'm glad you got to join in on the live. Okay, I don't know.
Well, the planets are pretty positive right now if you use them for what they're good for, you know.
Yeah, you have to transmute those energies into negative vibes into positive ones.
Yes. Focus your energy on one project or two. Um,
I'm really excited with my new website. Can't wait to release it.
I
I'm
can't
working.
wait to see it.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you're working on yours, let me know. I'm on a roll, honey.
Yeah, I've been I didn't want to just upload like 10 things. I really want to, and where we talked about sort of categorizing them between jewelry, or I've been trying to come up with the label for basically vintage knickknacks. So I think I'm going to go with like bazaar, because it's like a mixture of uh, art, glass, accessories.
You
Uh,
can say contemporary, what you call
no,
like
it's all vintage. I don't have anything contemporary.
oh, okay, vintage. Okay. Well, then you could just keep it simple, like bracelets, rings, heirlooms,
Necklaces, yeah.
yeah, brooches. I don't know if you have brooches.
Yeah.
Um, what else?
A lot of art glass, like vases and, um,
Okay.
you know, antique things.
Yes, you should put that up on Etsy.
Yes, I was going to read about starting an Etsy shop.
Well, just hold on, honey. I can connect your website to your Etsy store, so you
Oh,
don't have to go double dip. You
oh,
just do it all in one place, and it'll pull, I
oh,
think, all of your Etsy items or your website items into Etsy. It goes vice versa or something like that. Yeah.
gosh, that would be great.
Yeah, so let me know when you're ready, and we could test that out.
That would be great.
But, just make sure you get your categories and stuff. So I would just do
So,
your Etsy or put it up on Etsy, because that might be easy for you. And then I can import that to your website and connect it.
okay. All right.
So they could go to your Etsy or go to your website. You can get both best of both worlds, right?
That
They
sounds
can,
good.
yeah.
Yeah. So I've been cleaning and sorting and found, that's why everything was downstairs to have the photo box there. And I don't know. My idea is that I don't want to bring operations up into the house. I want to clean out and get things out of the
Well,
house.
you have to do one thing at a time.
So
You're
I
in
put it all
transition.
downstairs to be close to packing it up and shipping it out.
Out closest to the door
That's
is where
right.
it should be.
I've got all kinds of bubble wrap and packing paper and you name it. I got it ready to go. It's just getting them organized into categories. I've been writing up the descriptions, and I just have boxes and boxes of jewelry and stuff.
All right. Well, let me know if you need help with that. I'll help you.
I do.
You just got to ship it out yourself.
Yeah. That's why I keep that kind of stuff with the anticipation of this, to get it into someone else's life for them to enjoy.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know Etsy has recently created a housewares or a home decor section.
Oh.
Just like today.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So maybe this is the right time.
I have like Navajo hand woven like throw rugs, from the
Oh, well, wait a minute. Wait. Before you put it out there, let me take a look at that.
Yeah, I used to know this man that he would take trips out there and bring back pottery. I have tons of pottery and all this Navajo stuff. It's beautiful. And I've always just kind of kept it packed up because I didn't want to use it, to break it or spoil it. So it's all, just been packed away and somebody can enjoy it,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you have any macrame or anything like that, I'm into that. I want a piece of macrame. I don't know. I've been like eyeballing it lately.
I used to make that. I actually have some really old stuff that I made, like, I mean, really old, like, let's see, 40 years ago.
Well, those reed chairs?
Yeah.
The ones that have like the big fancy thing. Yeah. I want one.
Well, have you tried finding them?
I saw it on Etsy and they're expensive. They're like $500 upwards to like $1,000 now.
Wow.
Yeah, because getting reeds is very difficult. So
maybe you could get out, do some thrifting around your area and find one.
You know what? Facebook banned me. I can't sell on Facebook and I can't figure out why. I'm pissed off. I'm like, okay, why can't I sell on Facebook? They motherfuckers.
That is weird.
Yeah. I'm like, why?
I deleted my Facebook account a long time ago, and I actually heard Elon Musk say recently this week that everyone should delete their Facebook page, their Facebook.
I only go on there because I have friends and they message me and stuff. I'm not a Facebooker, but I have a Facebook account, and I just go on there.
How long ago did they ban you? Or, I mean, how did that start?
I don't know. I recently looked in it because I was trying to get into like my Facebook so I could set up like a new page for my body product stuff.
Yeah.
And then that's when I noticed.
So is there like an admin?
Oh, what the hell? Where did she go? Oh my God. They will need to connect their mic or cam. Where's Sunny? Sunny, come back. Look, they took Sunny away. Oh my God. Sunny, come back.
I don't know what happened.
Oh, I don't see your face. Your camera's out, but I can hear you.
Something happened with my camera.
Oh my God, that was the weirdest thing. I was talking about Facebook and like, you know, like,
Oh, wait.
what?
Oh, wait a minute. Maybe when I moved it, I didn't plug it. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see here if I can get it going again.
Facebook is banned. Like, okay. Like, I just said that and like she just cut off again. What the hell? Don't you guys find that that's freaking weird? That is so weird. I just said it again and she just cut out. Is that a trigger word? Now I'm skeptical. That is weird, right, guys? Jesus. And we're live. Sunny, come back. I know last night I was singing songs with my crackly voice. The P word. No, I'm not going to say a P word. Shabaka. That's not permitted. That the other P word permitted. Where is Sunny? Very interesting. Kate Moss and Johnny Depp. That's so weird that she's coming up on my feed. She's still gone. What am I going to do, guys? Where's Sunny? Oh, here we go. I don't know what is going on. Oh my God. Let me give her a call. Permissions from 2 unused apps have been removed. That is so strange. I think my phone is listening to me. Right? Let's see. Let me call Sunny real quick and see what the heck is going on. Answer your question about the karmic. Phones are listening to us. Also, I can't connect to her. This is. Oh, I hear you now. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Okay, unplug it and plug it in. Oh. You think that's the retrograde, like breaking your equipment? Oh, damn. That's okay. I mean, I guess I'll just wrap it up over here. I'll answer Shabaka's question and I'll just wrap it up. Okay. Well, I won't stay on too long. I guess I'll just answer a couple people's questions and then I'll wrap it up. Okay, you too. And okay. All right, bye. So did you hear that, Shabaka? She said to contact her at her email and she'll look into it. So, yeah. Stick it out and enter it again. Yeah, honey. Isn't that how it works? Like, oh, just basics. So, guys, okay. Is there any questions for me before I let you guys go? Because my son wants some chips. You're welcome, honey. Thank you. I can't tell if you're moderating on this side because I'm on a different platform.
Nachos there.
Okay, go ahead and get your nachos. Yeah. Anybody has some questions? I'll answer one person's questions before I let you guys go. Since it's just me, it's little old me. Nacho. Yeah. Nacho mama. I really hope I'm not gonna get like this weird numbing feeling later on. But anyways, I got this. Any questions for me? How about the trial results? Oh, well, Sunny had mentioned that Johnny's gonna win. At least that's what she said, according to the stars. I can check with my pendulum. Let's see. Spirit. Claire. Am I sovereign? Am I sovereign? Am I sovereign? Joel, are you here with me? Are you here from the light? Are you here from the light? Are you here from the light? Do you accept gift of light? Do you have any issues accepting gift of light? What is my password? Thank you. Spirit. For Johnny Depp, is he going to win the case? Yeah. Is Amber Heard guilty? Yes. Is Amber Heard going to win the case? Damn, that was quick. Did y'all see that? It was no. It went no. Like, damn. Yeah. We all know she's guilty. I mean, she's, I don't know if it was, let's just say that they're acting it out. She doesn't even know how to act. Look at that. Do you see that? Did you see that little thing that streamed across back my head? Did you guys see that? Was that alien? Who saw that? That was a streamer, right? It was like a little thing right behind my head. Guys, if you guys have a scrub on this live, you can actually scrub back and see what that was. No shit. Let's see. We are 2 minutes and 27 minutes around that mark. Well, 2:26. Scrub backwards. She doesn't know how to cry. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if she was a victim, she would be all boo-hooing. Like, where's the freaking, like, what is it? The fucking cry scene. Like, yeah. Did you see the orb? It was right behind my head. It was freaky. Yeah. Karmic balance. Yeah. Okay. So, is there any other questions before I let you guys go? Ding. Clearing my energy. I know there's people here in the chat. I just don't know who is in here. I would have taken pictures of bleeding feet and back, but she didn't. What the world? What? I don't know what you're talking about. Are you talking about the case? Because I don't know nothing about it. Okay. Well, I guess nobody has a freaking question. You heard blabbermouth? No, honey. I love I love your comments. They're entertaining. Anyways. All right, guys. So she claims to be dragged in. Yeah, no. Oh, here's Sunny. She's back. Hold on. Let's bring her back.
This is so strange.
Well, you're back.
My new camera is broken. And this camera is the one on my laptop. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
So remember I bought this, and so I was sitting here, and there's supposed to be
I think the microphone is coming off that camera because I hear like a lot of moving around. I think
but
the
mic is working, but not the camera part.
Yeah, and the camera is working off the laptop, but the sound, that's why I guess your sound is good.
Very strange. I'm sorry for the interruption. I was sitting here, and there's usually a red and a green light, and all of a sudden both the lights went off, and I didn't do anything.
No, you just said the magic word and it happened twice. Seriously, twice when either I or you said those words and you missed out. There was an orb that passed by my head.
Oh, cool.
I know.
Too weird. We have been having some storms around. I don't know.
I don't think it was a storm. I think it was actually the encounter.
Of the 14th kind.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. It's so strange. It's just so strange.
No, you're fine. So I told her that, if she would just message you, that you would help her.
Yes, if I could just get a little more insight. And what is this? I would have taken pictures of bleeding feet and back.
Oh, she was talking about the case with Johnny Depp and Amber.
Okay, yeah.
At least that's what I'm assuming. And I'm like, what? I didn't know that was a thing.
They had closing arguments today. So probably.
Isn't that kind of close to where you live?
Yes, actually. Isn't it?
Yeah.
I think
Fairfax County.
Yeah, it's north of me. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the county over the next county.
Strange. Very strange.
Yes, honey. She's in Virginia. That's where.
Yes.
Virginia's for lovers.
Yes, theoretically.
I was thinking about moving to Virginia Beach at one point. I still might. I don't know yet.
That's where the Edgar Cayce Center is.
I don't know. Maybe one day. I have to feel it, but I think I'm stuck in this corner for now.
Well, that was good news to get the help for your son.
Yeah, I finally got through with that. So now we'll just see if it's worth it, I guess I'm stuck here for a couple more years. You don't know anything.
We did your astrocartography map that time, and it showed your Venus line through closer to the East Coast.
Let me see if I could pull it up.
I don't know. I got all kinds of weird, wacky stuff happening with my computer.
Yeah, my dad is junky. No, that ain't
it. Well, I guess that's what I get for buying a cheap camera. I was trying to get away from. Oh, what is that? Okay.
Here it is. No. Is this it? No, that's not it.
It's an actual map.
Yeah, I have it. And if you guys are interested, Sunny can actually do you up a map too.
It puts your natal birth chart into a map of the world, and the idea being the meridians or the orbits of different planets. If you live close to them, what that planet represents, you would be more fortunate, like next to your Venus line. If you live near your Saturn or Pluto line, you're going to have a lot of hard lessons and that kind of ideology.
You know what? I'm thinking I didn't print that out. I think you just gave me a PDF. Now that I remember. I thought I had it printed.
Well, I can find that again, I'm sure.
Yeah, but I think from what I can recall, it was like for me to find love. I
Right.
think it was around Virginia, wasn't it?
It was. And let's see. It was also
It was in South America somewhere.
right.
What is some Latin lover, you know? No habla.
See, I bought this separate camera because we were having the issue of the fan being loud. I don't know. I've been shopping laptops like to try and replace my laptop before it needs replacing.
Well, didn't you just like hire that nerdy tech guy you said that's close by and he recommended that laptop and it turned out to be a lemon or something like that?
It was the IT department of a former employer.
Oh, okay.
But I've been reading online about it, and that fan issue is an issue with this HBZ book that, it's like a bug for that model or whatever, and that it can cause the hard drive to crash. And it's like 3 years old. So, they get outdated. Of course, I have another laptop over on another desk that's probably 20 years old and still cranks up fine. It's just not fast.
Well, why don't you just sell this one, raise the money to get you a brand new one?
Well, I've been looking at let's see. I've been looking at the specifications, like what to get in a new one. Lots of decisions to make.
The best choice is to get a gamer's laptop.
Yeah. They have a lot of those advertised.
Yeah. I mean, all you have to do is just go to your local, like, Best Buy and say, hey, what do you recommend for high speed, for just say video conferencing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the tech guy will lead you and you just see how much it costs. And then you do price comparisons. Go to newegg.com
Yeah.
or some of these
That's
other
where
places.
that's where this one came from.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, Newegg is legit.
Yeah.
I think in certain cities they actually have like an actual physical. I forgot what it's called, like H&L or something like that.
So do you think the ones that are rehabbed are okay to buy?
Refurbished? I don't do it. I have an HP desktop in here that I've rebuilt over and over with parts and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's been 7 years.
Yeah.
I just spent like $300 just to like fix what I have or like buy like a motherboard, or something like that.
Right.
And yeah.
Well, I guess I'll be shopping laptops for Memorial Day weekend sales.
Do a laptop or a desktop, I mean, are you like needing a laptop, or do you think that you could just settle with a desktop because a desktop is more stable?
Well, I've always had a desktop until, the last couple of years. And that's another thing over in the corner at another desk is the desktop that crashed. And I was going to try to take it to Best Buy for them to encase the hard drive to see if anything.
Now, you want to go to the local nerd shop.
Yeah.
Do you have one of those? I'm pretty sure you might.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, do that. Give him like a couple $100 to fix it, and you're good.
Well, it was the blue screen of death. One tech guy told me it's unlikely he could retrieve much.
Oh, well, I don't know who you went to, but probably need like a new motherboard.
Yeah.
And it really depends on your box. Um and what you got
Room
currently.
for it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like an old motherboard could probably cost you $300.
Right.
But then it's like, you could spend $300 on like a Chromebook, but a Chromebook is pretty basic.
Yeah. Yeah. That stuff always upgrades and changes quickly, doesn't it?
I don't know. I've had this computer for years. I can't deal with the desktop because I do a lot of like computer work all
Yeah.
day long. And so if you're on the computer a lot, you definitely want a desktop as opposed to a laptop. The laptop is good if you want to be mobile and you want to move around, and that's a good thing. But
Yeah.
if you're on it for a long time doing like a lot of typing or
Yeah.
you probably want to get a desktop.
Well, the best world is to have both.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, I mean if you have both, then you're good. Like I never get like I have a Chromebook, but I never use it. I used to go to bed with a freaking laptop and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, no, like come on, man, go to bed. So I stopped doing that. And I'm like, I'm at this desk until I'm done.
Yeah.
Because my room is just my room. It has a TV. That's it. There's no techie crap in my room. It's just my bed. But all the electronical equipment is outside of the bedroom.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah. Yep. So
I hope everybody enjoys a long weekend if they have it. And
Shabaka is like Best Buy is shit.
yeah. Yes, it was the one that I told to shove it. It was their
Oh, did you?
IT department. Yeah.
Yeah, I went to the Best Buy close to where I'm at. Actually, it wasn't close to where I was at, but that was where COVID happened. It was in King County, like the
Oh,
first
right.
like case of COVID, and I'm like, we're going into King County, like. But that was like pre-mask, and and I was like, ew, I didn't want to touch anything, and we were sitting there, and I was in the parking lot, and they were giving me a hard time, and I'm like, oh my god, I was like, do you know, like there's air conditioning in here, and it's like blowing down freaking germs, and you know how the Scorpio mind works, and I'm like, oh my god, I was like, we're infected. Long weekend in Canada was Monday, your turn. Oh, okay. Okay, so Canada just had a holiday, I'm assuming. Yeah. This Memorial Day is about, people who have served, who have passed away. And, I don't get it that people use it to grill out. And you know what I mean? Like, I don't
Off.
understand. Where do you get off having like a picnic when
I saw an article from a veteran who said, he didn't want to be thanked for what they had to be.
No, they went through hell and back. Everything that they've put their life on the line for. I mean, they can't get like how they were pre, military days. And a lot of them have PTSD, and a lot of the military guys that I've known, they go into war and they come back changed. Some of them, they're really shooken up by it,
Yeah.
and they're not the same. Okay. And we kind of notice some of the things, and sometimes they're exposed to like chemicals and stuff, and you just notice different things. And then some of them, they had to go through surgery, and there's trauma behind that, and shooting at kids, and kids actually throwing shrapnel at the soldiers and stuff, and
Right.
it's kind of like a video game, right? They have like these first person shooter type games that you can go in and do like CQB type stuff, and you clear like a room, and and it's like urban based training, because you don't know like who is inside the building, or like if the little kid is actually like a freaking decoy or something.
Right.
Like, it's crazy. And I've heard so many soldiers have nightmares from being in that situation.
It's terrible.
Yeah. I wouldn't wish it on anybody, especially wartime.
No.
Like, it sucks. I wouldn't want to be in a war position. I know that that's what's going on over in Ukraine and Russia, and it's really unfortunate, for what they're going through right now.
You know, that message that I got about a mic, when I plugged in my, I'd unplugged everything to work downstairs for a couple of days. And when I brought it back up here, I didn't plug everything in. And when I plugged this in, I couldn't hear you. Ah, now it's buzzing. How strange. Look, I think I need to go and work on this setup.
It's okay.
I'm
It's like, oh, it's
gonna
buzzing
just
now.
crash
Like,
again. I know. It's like something weird's going on here. We've had
I
some
think,
thunderstorms, so maybe something got damaged. I don't know.
okay. Well, we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And you get
So
some rest. You need some rest.
I know, I look kind of like puffy eyed and stuff, and I'm not 100% myself either, but
So what is it, like 11 there?
it's 10. What time is it there?
It's 1
10.
a.m. Yeah.
1. Okay, yeah, it's
Yeah.
quitting time, honey. Yeah,
Yeah.
you and Shabaka, y'all are in the same time zone.
I know. You're
She's a
funny,
trooper.
Chewbacca.
I know, she's not war times
Something's
happen
weird.
so
I know
fast.
that. I'm almost afraid to touch anything. I just don't want it to crash real quick like it did before. I was felt horrible. So
Yeah.
I'd
No,
like to
you're
have a
fine.
proper good night and thank you for your time. And hopefully it was entertaining. And we'll have more. Let's see. I don't know when the next thing is. When's the next?
Usually it's 2 weeks, right?
So that would mean in
I see the 10th. I don't know if that's actually it.
full moon in Sagittarius, 23 degrees on June the 14th.
14. Uh,
Sagittarius full moon. So by then, we'll be pretty much in the clear from Mercury going direct.
mm-hmm.
And
Things should be like going at a faster pace, right? But isn't the Taurus like energy like holding us back still from
but
really?
it's starting to get moved into to Gemini, and
Mm-hmm.
Venus is moving. What day did I say? Like June the 3rd. It's
Yeah,
moving.
it was around that. It was after the 3rd, I think. What you said.
Let's see. So we should start feeling a little
Better.
more movement. Mercury direct on the 3rd. Saturn retrograde on the 4th. That happens every summer, though. That's not anything. So yeah, we'll things are starting to heat up a little bit. It's just hold on to your hat, keep an open mind, explore all your options.
Yeah,
And
don't make any major decisions yet, but just I don't know. I would say go with the flow.
yeah, a little extra rest might be a good plan with all of the shifts in energy.
I've noticed that time is going by fast.
Yeah, it has.
Like, I don't know where the time went.
Cray
But
cray.
okay.
Cray
Yeah.
cray. Well, at least I made it back,
I
and
know.
I will resolve before our next chat what the heck's going on. It was just a cheapy little camera. Maybe I need to put a little more money into something. I don't know.
Well, I have a Logitech. It's a HD 1080p. I don't know what model number it is, but I think it works pretty well. But I've noticed that the light flickers in my recording sometimes. It's like it goes from like the warm tones to the cool tones, and I'm
That's
like, okay.
happened with this one too.
Oh, does it? I guess that's just common.
Maybe I'll shut everything down and then see what happens when I crank it back up in the morning.
That's how we do it, right?
Maybe it just needs a long shutdown.
It's quitting time.
Isn't that weird that part of it works and part of it doesn't?
Uh-huh. Now, okay, so this is what I'm thinking. If you have your camera hooked in, you have to go in your settings and see what you're connecting to as your camera and what you're connected to as your mic. And you can probably see that obviously right now your laptop is the one that's being enabled as
Mhm.
opposed to your
You're right.
external.
Yeah. So hopefully that'll come back on when I go in there. I don't want to mess with it while we're talking because it might shut down again. But
Yeah.
look, I hope that everyone enjoyed our celebrity twin flame overview. And if anyone has another set of twin flame celebrities they'd like me to search out data for, just email me
You
at
know what?
link.
I would be very interested to do a raffle or, to pick someone from our audience and just do them.
We could do that too.
Yeah. So how much time would you need? Would you have to do it in advance, or is it something that you could look at fairly quickly if you had all the information?
Well, just because I'm a control freak, I like to have it all prepared ahead of time. But, let's say a day ahead.
I think that would be interesting. That way people can, you know, they
Mm.
could get like a real reading.
It
And
depends on if they want to share their personal stuff with
well,
the
yeah.
group.
I mean, I do that too because when I used to like go on lives and I would bring on people like, well, first, if you're chosen, you have to consent that,
Okay.
okay, what we say is free for all. You can't tell me, well, can you take it down?
Right.
Like at a later time.
Right. Yeah. Because it can get personal.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I'd be happy to do that. And thank you, Shabaka. Thank you very much. And we'll try to find other ways to have more fun.
Oh yeah, definitely. And hopefully our energies are a little bit more perky next time.
It's been a lot of storms around here. I'm tired. I've got web between my feet. It's been raining so much. So
Well, it just rains here intermittently, but it sprinkles. It's not like a nice hard rain.
yeah,
I mean, I think last
actually
night
we're
we had,
under a tornado watch earlier today.
yeah, the East Coast has been having a lot of that lately, from what I know.
Yeah,
Hmm.
little squalls. Look, I was walking my dogs earlier and up the street, a huge tree in one neighbor's yard came down in his next door neighbor's yard, took out two. I mean, this magnolia tree is,
Huge,
50 feet tall.
right?
The tree that came down took out like the back half and it missed their house by just like inches.
Inches,
Yeah,
lucky.
weird.
I
But it
love
was not like
magnolia.
a little twister tornado in that corner of property or whatever.
Uh-huh. I mean, a magnolia tree is pretty sturdy. That's a hard one to blow
I
down.
know, and it brought down two huge sections of it. The whole back half of it is gone.
Mm.
And we were talking and they said, that corner of the house has always needed more sun. I'm like, well, there you go. It just
Look, the nature took care of that. Now you got some firewood.
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, look, we can keep on and on, but I just don't want it. It's kind of flickering, acting funny. So I want to have a proper good night before it just shuts off. And
Yeah, we're actually like three hours almost into this. So yeah, it's quitting time. I get it.
Well, thanks again. I always look forward to our chats, and I'll try to dig up some other good stuff.
Okay, sounds good. Thank
Okay.
you, Sunny, for being with us as always.
I'll
And
enjoy it. And
yes,
if anybody has some celebrity charts they want reviewed, lionmountainhealing@gmail.com. Just send me your suggestions and I'll dig out birth data.
right. Yeah, and what do you call that? The chart where you find your true love? What is that?
Are you talking about the astro map, the astrocartography map?
Yeah, it's the astrocartography. If you guys are interested in knowing,
They're
like
on
where,
my website. I think it's like $15.
yeah, it's just a little fun little check-in and see where's the best coordinates to find love.
Sometimes it can explain a lot for where you live.
Yeah, and I'm way off course. My love ain't living here, I guess. I don't know. Like, it's dry.
Right.
I gotta move, but I'm stuck here, so I don't know. Unless that person comes and visits me some way, somehow. I don't know.
Could be.
I hope so.
You never
I'm
know.
ready. I think I'm ready. I don't know if I'm ready.
Well, get some rest first.
Yeah, I need it. So yeah, thank you all for joining in, and thank you all for participating. And it again, check in with Sunny if you guys want a natal chart done. I always get my stuff done through her, guys. I actually don't get personal readings like tarot readings. I actually get my stuff done with Sunny.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
It's always interesting insights to be found.
Oh yeah, definitely, especially if you have my exact birth time and everything. So it's pretty, I would feel accurate, very close to hitting home with a lot of points. So,
Yeah.
and thank you for doing my son's charts.
Sure.
Those were really interesting too. And like I said, whenever we have more time, then we could discuss what you have written.
I will be close by all weekend. You just let me know.
Okay. All right. So thank you all for watching, and we will see you guys next time.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Good night. Bye.